Right, good afternoon, everyone. We've looked at the distribution policy and we've looked at the product policy. Now we're going to look at the promotion policy, also known as the communication policy. The main object of a promotion is to increase the sales of a product or a service. For successful promotion, the seller of a product must have good communication systems in place with all the parties in the distribution channel, including the final consumer. So communication has a double purpose. Firstly, it's there to inform consumers about products, new products coming out, promotions on products, but it's also there to try and persuade them to buy the product. So when we talk about the communication policy, there are four main elements of this promotion or communication policy, and they are as follows. So if we look at this diagram, you can see those four things are advertising, sales promotions, public relations, or personal selling. Now we're going to delve into a little bit more detail in each one of these. So the first one we're going to look at is sales promotion. So that's when a business decides to put things on offer. And we often see in our newspapers what we call broadleaf advertisements. So Pick and Pay, Checkers, Clicks, they'll put in these big double pages of specials that they have on offer. Buy 3 for the price of 2. Or there might be a 50% sale on items at Woolworths. Right? I'm sure you've been into a retail store where they have little samples of things for you to taste, normally in the food section. And sometimes in magazines, you'll get a little sample of a new soap that has come out. All of those types of activities, sales that go on, samples that are given, specials that are on, those are examples of sales promotion. A very popular one, and one that we've inherited from the USA, is Black Friday. We see lots and lots of sales promotions going on during that day. The second element we're going to look at is advertising. Now remember, this is paid for, so it's non-personal. It goes to a wide audience, but you are deciding what it is that you want them to see, and you are dictating the message. So examples of advertising would be TV, radio, internet, magazines, billboards, newspapers. The aim of advertising is to attract the attention of people, to get the interest, to arise their interest in a specific product, to create a desire to buy this product, and finally, action, which means to provide the information needed to persuade the consumer to act and actually buy the product. This is known as the AIDA technique, and it's often used to reflect and analyze advertisements. Now, on the next slide, I'm going to show you a YouTube advertisement through King Price Insurance that I think is just really, really funny, and it does all these things. It gets your attention, it's interesting, there's a desire to find out more, and if you were looking for insurance, it would certainly propel you into some form of action. So I'm sure you'll all agree with me that was really, really funny. And if we had to use the AIDA model, it certainly would tick all of those off. But the other thing we've got to be aware of when we're talking about advertising is the ethical issues of advertising. So the following unethical practices of advertising need to be guarded against. So any false or deceptive advertising, like saying that a cream can take your wrinkles away in 2 minutes, or selling rebuilt or second-hand goods as if they were new goods, so lying about the condition of the goods, making false statements about your competitors, giving goods misleading names, so for example, calling it strawberry ice cream when there is no fresh strawberry in that ice cream. Instead, it's strawberry flavored ice cream. And any discriminatory kind of advertising is also totally unethical. Now, in South Africa, we have something called the Advertising Standards Authority, and they are the watchdog, and they guide these principles to make sure that our adverts are all ethical. The third promotion element that we look at is publicity. Now, publicity is different to advertising because this is free, right? So it's a free, non-personal form of communication that the business and its products can receive through the mass media. It's important that the public should know about the organization, its responsibility programs, its CSR programs, its community involvement, its fair labor practices. Good publicity is often successful because reports in the media about products and services have a higher degree of credibility than advertisements put forward by the business. If you have a moment, have a look on YouTube at the CEO for Domino's Pizza, whose publicity statement after 2 of his employees were found to put a hoax up on YouTube, and his response really boosted the publicity of Domino's. We also have something called internal publicity, and this is what your actual store or your office or your workplace looks like. It's about the appearance and the display of goods. It's also about what the employees are wearing. So think about when you go to a bank. Normally all the bank tellers have a similar identity in terms of the uniform that they are wearing. We're still talking about publicity, and a lot of companies get publicity by donating or sponsoring certain sporting events, all right? And I thought rugby would be a good one to look at. So the Bulls are sponsored by Vodacom, and in the, I think it's called the Super Rugby, DHL sponsors a team, Emirates sponsors another one, we have Vodacom, we used to have Mr. Price, so they all get publicity from being donors or sponsors to these sporting events. And the last promotion element that we need to discuss is that of personal selling. So personal selling has always been and still is the most successful method of selling a product. However, it is also the most expensive option as it requires a one-on-one interaction. So you are having to pay staff members to sell that particular product. So it does become costly. It is very effective, especially in the case of expensive industrial goods, such as machinery or shopping goods, be it stoves, fridges, laptops, iPads. And in those stores, you will normally see a higher range of people working on the floors so that they can help the customers. Think about when you are buying a house. Personal selling is used there because an estate agent will go with you and spend time with you and give you all the information that you would need with regards to purchasing that house. So those are the 4 elements within the promotion policy. I'll repeat them again. It's advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, and publicity. Have a good day.